Welcome to a technique that requires a gentle touch, painting masking fluid over paint over masking fluid. So technically this is the third layer. Today we're going to delve into the intricate world of layering and watercolour, pushing the boundaries of traditional methods to achieve a stunning result. Masking fluid allows the pouring of watercolour over other layers of watercolour, which means you don't need a brush. You do need to have masking fluid, and then that's going to allow you to pour watercolour washes over successive watercolour washes. And this means that you get to build up depth, texture and dimension, and I absolutely love this method. It's incredibly playful, but it does require a bit of planning and it does require a bit of time. So it's not something that you may want to do if you're at the beginning, but if you know what you're doing and you have the ability to do a project over a period of time, then this project is absolutely wonderful for the effect that you can get. You need to have a bit of an idea about where you're going, but to be honest, many times I've used the watercolour pour technique and not had an idea where I'm going and just completely enjoyed myself, just get in the zone and create layer upon layer of masking fluid. The key things to keep in mind is that you've got to let each layer dry incredibly well before going to the next layer. And I never use any sort of drying implement because that can affect your masking fluid. And I think that it's worth just taking your time and letting everything air dry. The masking fluid is applied to the areas that you want to preserve of the next layer of paint. So as you're applying the masking fluid, which I'm doing right now, I am preserving the layer that is beneath it. Everywhere that I put the masking fluid is going to be preserved and not necessarily white. The first layer of masking fluid preserves white. This layer of masking fluid is way more beautiful because it is preserving the watercolour paint that is on the layer below. It allows you to play with colours, it allows you to play with values and techniques. I just find using masking fluid incredibly freeing. But it's something that a lot of watercolourists don't touch at all. They like the idea that they will preserve the white of the paper just by having the ability to paint around, which is painting around negatively. However, that's can be really tricky at times. So what you've got to keep in mind with the second layer of masking fluid is that it's really important to understand that masking fluid is wet and it has the ability to disturb your existing watercolour layer. So that means you need to be using soft implements such as a shaper. That will really help to apply the masking fluid really, really gently. So here's a little snapshot of the layers that I've been adding to this particular painting and just taking my time to do that. You noticed also that I used a colour shaper. That's got a really soft nib, and the nib is really, really important for layer number 2, so that as you spread out any masking fluid, you are going to disturb the watercolour layer beneath as little as possible. That's the biggest tip that I can give you. So thanks for joining me, and please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video and you'd like to try masking fluid over paint over masking fluid. Thanks guys, bye.